What's going on, everybody? Today I'm making a video that I want to be able to help you guys with how to be what is a profitable trader? How can you become a profitable trader? What is the first steps you need to take? And how do you continue to be profitable? You know what I mean? So the first thing with profitable trading is, what does profitable even mean? Profitability in the markets basically just means that you know on a monthly basis that you can rely on the markets to make you income, okay? And you're able to survive. Basically, that's what that means to me, okay? And that's what it just means in general, profitability in the markets. Meaning that you're profitable in the markets. Profitable, you make profit in the markets, you're not losing, you are making bigger wins than you are making losses. So, how do you get there? What is the first steps that you need to take to be profitable within the markets? Okay, so we have to treat trading as a job, okay? And you will genuinely will never get anywhere with trading if you just treat trading like a game, like a hobby, like, gambling. You know what I mean? It is, in a way, down to the base input. In a way, it is gambling. You're betting money that price will go up or down, okay? But it's not just a 50-50. You know what I mean? If you are a good trader, if you are a profitable trader, you have an edge, okay? The first thing is finding your edge. What is your model? What is your setup? And you don't do anything else. Engrave this in your brain right now. You don't do anything else but try to trade your setup. You know, if you see your model, if you don't see like today, I did not take a trade today because I did not see anything sticking out to me. I did not see what my bias was. My bias did not play out. Therefore, I did not take a trade, and therefore I did not see good price action. If we can go on the markets really fast, let's do it real quick. If we can go here really fast, okay? This long position right here was my bias. What it was that I what what I wanted to see happen. I assumed after we moved down, filling EQ and kind of respecting this bullish gap, that we were going to move higher, sweep out London Asian liquidity. Did we? No. Okay. We made a huge SMT between where NQ swept all-time highs, ES didn't, and still has, and there's still SMTs between there. But why did I not take a trade, okay? Let me tell you guys why I did not take a trade, all right? On the hourly, okay? So this is where we opened, all right? This right here, this is 8 a.m. candle, this is 9 a.m. candle, and we were just bearish the whole time, okay? I am not going to short a all-time highs market. Now you can, but it is just very risky because as you can see, for a good RR, let's see how I would have done this short position right here, okay? So, we see this hourly liquidity gets swept, okay? So, and it rejected off this gap up here, so we know that it's not going to move higher from here, okay? And if it did want to move higher, it would have to sweep some kind of sell side liquidity. So this is pretty fucking obvious right here, okay? We're either going to want to sweep this liquidity, EQ of this move, and move higher, or we are going to come down and sweep this liquidity as well, as we have had this sell side accumulation right here where it's just some stacked up sell side liquidity. And for it to move lower, it is going to have to sweep some type of liquidity. The market moves off of liquidity. Liquidity is a big thing that you are going to need to know if you are this. So my bias was bullish. What I wanted to see happen was this get swept and we continue moving higher. Now that did not happen, okay? We already respected this bearish for value gap yesterday and continued to move higher. But as we can see, we broke structure on the 1 hour to the downside, and the 4-hour opening candle, 10 a.m. right here, was extremely bearish. So I did not want to take a trade. Now you definitely could have caught this move right here, okay? After sweeping this hourly liquidity right here, what do we see, okay? So off that liquidity sweep right there, we form an order block, okay? Right here, we do the body to the wick. That this is a block where orders were able to get filled and the market was able to move the opposing direction, okay? We were able to fill the sell orders above that liquidity and we could continue moving down, okay? So And you can see right here from this order block, an order block tap entry, which is what I like to do. You can see for confirmation, I normally wait for a 15-minute break of structure, so I would have waited for right there, but wouldn't have really been a great risk to reward ratio, and also I'm not shorting all-time high markets. But this short, you um, definitely could have done. So look at this right here. We do get, so we have order block formed right here. We have a break of structure, and then we have a tap back into it, continue to move down, a tap back into it again, and then we really start moving down. So from there, if you would have done like this, waited for liquidity sweep, we say a 5-minute break of structure, and then if you waited for a tap back into it, you could have entered there, which would have realistically been around the same. So let's just say you entered it there, and you could have had a decent, yeah, so you could have had a decent trade. So me normally, if I were to put my 4 cons on there, we would have made 620 bucks trading micros, okay? But I'm not shorting on markets. And then also when I was on the charts earlier, price action was very not fun. And then also this would have been this also would have been right at market open. We did have news at 10 a.m., so I would have waited. That's also another reason. It wasn't super high impact news. We did just continue to go down, though. It was red folder news, but it really didn't have a big impact. You can't really see. The market was really already in bearish structure, and then it just continues to go down. So the news definitely did impact it. Impacted it negatively in a way, because now we are in bearish structure. But yeah, so find your model, stick to your model, and don't stray away from your model. Don't jump strategies. You don't need to find a new. If you have a strategy that isn't working, it is not the strategy's fault. It is your fault. Remember this. Look, you guys have to bet on yourself, and you guys have to be able to rely on yourself and have the clarity and conviction. And if you don't have that conviction of a bias to enter a trade, then stick to a fucking paper account. Stick to low risk. Stick to either a $100 account or something like that. If you really want, if you want to get your conviction and your clarity and able to make a bias and able to really read what the market is telling you, so then you can therefore formulate a trade off of that. Because look guys, we're not predicting the market. People think that traders predict the market, or no, we simply observe and react off what the market is telling us. And that's another big thing, guys. You don't want to predict the market. You want to react off what the market is telling you. And from there, once you see your model, enter a long or a short position. That's literally all it is. There's a 50-50 chance either way. And to have your edge, you stick to your one model. I'd recommend you find somebody and something that you can that completely makes sense to you, that you can understand fully, and you take that in the markets and you try for months. And then once you're profitable for 2 to 3 months, then maybe you're ready for a funded account, and you could try to pass that funded account. Now, I'd go through my funded futures or alpha futures, or really just do your own research and figure out what you want to do. I personally trade futures, so that's what I would be going with. Now, number 2, treating trading like a job. Okay, if you wake up at 9:30, okay, you roll out of bed at 9:30, market's already open, you get on the charts, trading is never going to work for you, okay? Especially if you still have a bunch of bad habits, all right? If you go, let's say you have a day job, you go to your job, you come home, you watch TV, you don't do shit, okay? Trading will not work for you, okay? Now it might, okay? Don't take my word for everything, but me personally, trading has changed my life more in just a sense of making money, and in a sense of the way that I structure my days and the way that I operate, really, because trading is a discipline game, and if you don't have patience, trading will teach you patience, okay? I recommend very strongly that you, for one, dopamine cleanse before you ever get into trading, okay? This thing is the killer. This thing is a killer, okay? This thing is a fucking killer, all right? If you're glued to that thing, bro, and for one, what I want you to do is don't watch a stream while you're trading. Don't watch someone else trade while you're trading. You go on the markets, you sit in silence, or you have some house music or some focus music in the back, and you sit there and you watch the fucking chart. Because how else are you going to learn how price action moves, learn what New York Open wants to do from London manipulation? It could be a New York reversal, or it could be a London continuation into a New York reversal, or we could have a London reversal into a New York continuation. And if you don't know what that means, watch my video on how I find entries in my daily bias. Watch that video, and you will understand everything of what that means. Um, yeah, so like I said, a dopamine cleanse. So what is a dopamine cleanse? A dopamine cleanse is basically where you try to be bored. Like you instead of, and it's not trying to be bored. Look, instead of going on your phone and scrolling, find something else that you either enjoy doing or maybe something that you don't want to do that you will enjoy through process and discipline. Like me, I started working out. I started doing 100 push-ups every day. I go to the gym, and then I also make sure that I do 100 push-ups at home every single day, just because it is. And now I've fallen in love with it, and I love working out, and we're getting some gains, gaining some muscle. I'm not that big, don't flame me guys, but yeah, and then and do that. Get a book, find books that you want to read, and but genuinely, if you are constantly glued to that phone, trading will never work for you. If you're looking at the charts and you're looking over at your phone, you need to be locked and focused on the charts. And what I recommend is working out, or for one, start your day. So what I like to do is start my day. I don't look at my phone until around 9 or 10 o'clock, and I get up around 5 or 6 in the morning. Okay, I get up, I read my shit to myself. I'll write down some things in my journal, some things I want to accomplish for the day. I'll go on a walk. I'll get some food. Normally, I haven't been going on a walk just because of time constraints. So I will wake up. I'll go out on my balcony, eat my breakfast, just get my nice cup of coffee. Make sure you drink plenty amounts of water before you go out and do anything. Drink at least like a half gallon of water. It definitely will make you feel better 100% before you go out there and attack the day. I go to the gym, and then by the time I get home, it's around 8. I'll either hop in the shower right quick, or I'll take a shower later on. And then I come here, I sit down. I'll either, while I'm sitting down here, I'm thinking of content ideas and reading my book. I'm writing down content ideas while I'm reading my book, waiting for market open. And then I kind of determine a bias of what I want to see before market open. And once market opens, I'm here from around 9 to 10:30, 10:45 sometimes, you'll have a trade where your bias is correct. There's nowhere else for it to move besides taking out your POI, your targeted liquidity. So you'll just leave it running. You'll leave your one or two, or however many cons you want to leave open on there. But building a schedule is very important. Make sure you are allocating your time. Really, I never understood what adults meant, but genuinely, freedom is a good thing, but also boredom is the devil's playground. If you are bored, and especially with these phones where they've made dopamine addictions just extremely easy to have, and extremely just accessible to just scroll all day. You know what I mean? It's very easy to just pick up your phone, not want to do anything, and scroll. And I know, if you guys are anything like me, there's that voice in the back of your head that's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Quit ASAP. You know what I mean? Because no matter when I'm in that mode, or when I used to be in that mode of just scrolling all the time, or hanging around my friends, and you guys aren't doing anything but sitting on your phone, it makes you want to rip your fucking hair out. You know what I mean? And that's how I am. I have to be doing something. I can't just be sitting around all damn day. I need to be making content, doing something. And with trading, trading is one of the best skills that you will ever learn in your life. Trading is something that is infinitely scalable, so you can continuously always progress how much money you're making within trading if you just follow your process and your inputs. And that's another thing, guys. Um, don't be so focused on the outcome. If you're focused on the flashy lifestyle in this, trading isn't something that's going to instantly make you rich. Trading is a skill that will make you financially free down the road, but trading is something that isn't going to make you rich. Um, in a week or two. You know what I mean? It's never like that. But genuinely, if you are constantly focused on the outcome, you'll be thinking about the money. You'll be thinking about, oh well, I could add more size here and make more money. When genuinely, that's not what you need to be focusing on. All the first 6 to 8 months of your trading journey, you should be on a paper account, just trading one con. Trade a singular contract. Whatever you trade a singular contract, because look, you're on a paper account anyway. Who fucking cares if you make money? It's not even real anyway. If you want to mental masturbate, and it's very ridiculous to put heavy size on a paper account when a paper account is there for you to learn, and you're not making any money anyway. So it's like, oh, and then you post like, oh, I made 3,000 today, but it's a paper account, and everyone knows it's a paper account, because if you really made 3,000 a day, you wouldn't be fucking posting it. You'd probably be going and doing something with your life. You know what I mean? But you have nothing better to do than post it. Get out of that mindset, okay? So you want to be focusing on the inputs in the process. If you focused on your trading plan, okay, make a trading plan. Literally, a trading plan is just the rules that you follow every day. If you want to take one trade a day, what your max loss is. Like I have my trading rules right above me, right there. 1 to 5% of account size, only one trade a day. If I lose a trade, I'm done. A+ setup. You never force trades. You try not to trade as well. Okay, try not to trade. If you try not to trade, you will be more profitable in the long run. Like today, if I would have forced my long setup, okay, we didn't even have any breaks of structure to the upside. Actually, I do believe we did have a break of structure to the upside. So yeah, look at this right here. If I tried to trade this, I would have been instantly stopped out. You see what I mean? So, and you can see right here, this is kind of the manipulation leg and I are distributing. But and now we're just gonna be in this nice accumulative rage. Perfect. But trying not to trade will legitimately get you farther than you think it will if you try not to trade every day and you're literally, it's kind of like Pictionary, okay? If you only have one guess in Pictionary, and it's exactly the same with trading. So you want to wait until it is very obvious of what you need to be doing to place a trade. So if you see something but you don't have a super conviction in it, maybe take a step back, maybe breathe, think about it, and be like, okay, well, what is the market showing me here? What do I really need to be doing? And like I said, we're observers, you know what I mean? And if it's not sticking out at you, if your model isn't clearly there, you're not taking a trade, okay? Number 2, okay? Never trade if you're emotional, okay? Trading when you're emotional is just a wreck, just like going to your job when you're emotional, okay? Everyone knows the guy that goes to work all emotional is someone you don't want to deal with, okay? And look, you can control your reactions and get to a point where you can control your emotions, okay? And not control your emotions. Nobody can fully control their emotions, but control how you react about things and control what is shown outward of your character. So if you just broke up with your girlfriend, if someone just passed away in your family, if you feel mentally unstable, or mentally you're just not all there, do not trade. This is an emotional game, and you will want to feel better by trying to make money on the markets or just pushing that button in general. Because look, the thing with trading is the max dopamine you get from trading is pushing the button. Okay, you don't that's all. You know what I mean? You don't get dopamine from losing a trade. You don't get dopamine from winning a trade. You get dopamine from trading by pressing the button of actually trading, by entering a trade, knowing that you could or not make money. It's fucking insane dopamine in your brain. You know what I mean? Because like, oh, I could. It's and then eventually, you get to love it. But yeah, never trade if you're emotional. Focus on inputs and being an observer. We talked about that. Staying cool, calm, and collected. That's another big one. Just like I said, if you're emotional, you're not coming into the markets. You want to have a clean slate. You don't want to be foggy. You want to be disciplined and not be looking at your phone and roll out of bed 20 minutes before market open and think that you're going to get anywhere. You're not going to. You need to have a clean mind. A clean mind. You can't have bad habits. If you have bad habits, any bad habit is just going to reflect in your trading. You know what I mean? So you really need to live a very disciplined lifestyle to where you are doing things that, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. You stay stuck to a schedule. You go to the gym every day, things like that. You journal every single day. You read every single day. And these are just things that I enjoy doing, but 100%. But another thing, on to the fifth thing, who knows here. It's never about the money. You do this for whatever your purpose or your passion is. And I have written down, you do this for your family. That's my biggest thing. I'm going to buy my mom a car eventually and a house before the end of this year, and I will. And that's just a big thing. If you're constantly focused on the outcome and focused on the money and focused on things like that and focused on the glamorous lifestyle that these gurus and these trading people try to portray to you, you're never going to get anywhere genuinely. Like I said, just focus on the inputs and the process, and if you are sticking to your trading plan, if you are disciplined in the markets, if you are not trading every single day and you're waiting for your model in your setup every single time, you are bound to succeed. You know what I mean? Especially if you have God on your side. You know what I mean? If you have God, if you have a plan, a purpose, and God on your side, that's literally all you need. And then also, if you break one of your rules, you are done trading for the day. I don't care if you are in a trade. I don't care if you enter a trade but you broke your rules. You need to get let that no. You know what? Here, I'm gonna say this. If you break one of your rules and enter a trade, you need to step back for a minute, close the trade. I don't care if you lose or win money. Okay, it doesn't fucking matter because longevity in the markets is what we're aiming for, not a quick little fucking money. And you're on a paper account anyway, so who fucking cares if you lose a little bit of money? You know what I mean? Um, you're done. If you break a rule, that's like breaking a rule at your job, and you're fired. You know what I mean? So if you imagine that's like going to work and you fucking dunk your dick in the fucking janitorial bucket, okay? All right, that's exactly what the fuck it is, okay? Because look now, and it's even worse with trading because look, you break your rules and you enter a trade, you could make money, but that's money that you didn't righteously earn because you had no edge taking that trade. You basically just gambled and no shit, there's a 50% chance you could enter a trade and 50% of the time you're going to win. That's not always the case though. So don't focus on following your damn rules, okay? I don't know how many times I can say this. And then also just set goals for yourself. Set goals for yourself within trading and goals that give you a purpose. And then also, like, when you have a purpose and a passion that you're working towards, this shit will be so much easier. You go, think of a phrase or something that's in your mind that you can come back to and be like, okay, you're doing this for your mom, you're doing this for your parents, you're doing this to get out of your situation, you're doing this for you, you're doing this for the younger you who never had it, you're doing it for the kid you who wore the beat up shoes to school and didn't have anything to fucking eat half the time, you know what I mean? And that's just where I come from. And that's a big thing for me. While I'll just never quit this trading shit. I just uploaded my 80th trading recap yesterday, and it's crazy. um, I will be. I will have been doing the series 3 months. Oh my, dude, it feels longer than that. Wow. No, because I started in. When did I start even trading? I was getting into it like January, I believe. I'm not sure. I'll have to see when my first video was uploaded because the first video that I uploaded was me actually trading, and I had done months of research before that, so like 3 or 4 months of research. And that's another thing, guys. If you don't understand things on the charts, you probably shouldn't be trading. Okay, if you don't understand why things are happening, if you don't understand how to form a bias, if you don't understand how liquidity works, how break of structure works, how order blocks work, how rejection blocks work, how um, fair value gaps work, how fib tools work, how the GAN box works, how, even how to place trades and things like that. If you are unfamiliar, watch videos. Everything is free on YouTube for you to watch and enjoy and learn. And make that another thing too. Make one of your goals to learn. Like, you can never learn too much about trading, you know what I mean? And that's not necessarily learning. You don't need to learn a new strategy. You need one strategy, one or two strategies, okay, that you know that work and that work well for you, okay. And if you have a strategy and it doesn't work for you, you can try to do something else, all right. But I would stick with a strategy for a month or two before you're like, okay, it doesn't work for me. I'm gonna need to try something else. And then also, like, I've seen people who take strategies but they don't use certain parts of them and they just use kind of. And eventually, guys, once you are familiar enough with the markets, you will form your own strategy and form your own opinions and form your own way of thinking with the market, looking at the market. Um, so to get before we get out of here, guys, I just want to recommend you watch a couple things. Watch Brett Steinbarger. He has a YouTube series called The 3 Minute Trading Coach. He probably has around 100 or 200 videos every single day. He uploaded a 3 minute little video where he talks about, things that will benefit your trading, things that will, that you really need to know, things that he's experienced. He's an older guy. He's been around for a long time. He's wrote books. He is a professional trader. He has bachelor's degrees. He has, a fuck ton of experience in the markets. and he is somebody that I look up to dearly, and that will genuinely can help you with your trading journey. That 3 Minute Trading Coach by Steinbarger, great series on YouTube, as well as there are books. I'm pretty sure he wrote a trading coach book. I would get that. Any books with trading, I would read. Investing books, I would read. Finance books, I would read. And that's another thing, guys. If you just think technical analysis is going to take you to the fucking moon, it's not, guys. If you don't look at the news and you don't look at the things that are going on in the world, you will never get anywhere with trading. Because look, dude, if you're in a trade and you don't know Trump speaks in fucking 5 minutes, you're gonna get screwed. You know what I mean? Like today, why price action was so buns was because look at this. We have red folder jobs opening, which normally isn't a too high impact news. Now it is red folder, which job openings and the labor, basically a labor turnover survey. So they're basically seeing, how many people. Oh my God, what am I saying? It's in the name. How many job openings there were reported for the month and shit like that. And then also, they get a huge and that's kind of why the market did dump a little bit today. Like we do see this, we've seen, a 160 point, a 150 point dump. If you could have caught that trade, you would have been good. But yeah, guys, I am going to get off here and let you guys go on about your day. A nice little 30-minute video for the YouTube channel. Just really talking about how you guys can better implement discipline and skill building and things like that into your trading. First step, dopamine cleanse. Get rid of your bad habits. Start accruing better, good habits and things that you enjoy doing, but that are hard and that you wouldn't have been doing before. Build discipline within yourself, and you will build discipline within the markets, guys. This fucking fly, I haven't built discipline in my fucking house for these flies, dude. Look at him. Look at him. And he lands on my nose and flies off. Dude's a G, low key. But alright, guys, I love you. You guys have a great rest of your night. That was how to implement better stuff into your trading, and how to help if you want to genuinely be profitable. Those are the things that, and if you guys don't, so look, guys, I have made 6,000 this month trading. Okay, and if we can see, since the 24th, I haven't even had a loss. And look at that. We had for almost 2 weeks now, the only loss that I had was $26, okay? And why is that? Because I am sticking to my fucking plan, guys. But yeah, I love you guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!